Chapter 1. A fake dragon won't cross a river. You are listening at famvetv.info. Brother Bing, please protect my little sister as well as my families carefully. I feel lucky to accompany you during these 6 years. It is my honor to go through fire and water with you. I am not regretful. I am not regretful. Thinking of what Su Paya had said before dying, Xiao Bing clenched his fists tightly, crying. He made a decision to protect Su Paya's families before finding the spy of Long Men and to make rightful claims for Su Paya. Xiao Bing did not love Su Paya, but he regarded her as his only best friend. He unfastened the seatbelt when the plane landed safely, looking at the urn in the hands and sighed. We have arrived at Jiangcheng. You get home now, Paya, he said. Xiao Bing got out of the plane, having something weighing heavily on his mind. He walked fast in the crowds and got out of the airport quickly. Suddenly, he heard a harsh sound of car braking. He looked up and saw that a 50-year-old sanitation worker was lying beside the wheel of a car. The old man's elbow and face were bleeding, and there was a big wound on one of his knees. Beside the sanitation worker was a luxurious car BMW X5 whose exhaust pipe was still smoking. A young man who was dressed in famous brand clothes got off the car firstly, and 2 men followed him, each of whom wore a pair of sunglasses. They called the young boy Master. The young boy looked at the sanitation worker who climbed up with difficulty. Did you get hurt? The young boy asked, frowning. I am fine. Looking at the old man in rags, the young boy felt disgusted. Okay, you must be careful next time. Do you know what kind of car it is? It is very expensive. If you made my car broken, you would be in debt. You can't afford it even by selling yourself. The old man was frightened and he apologized to the young boy, even forgetting the pain on his body. I am sorry. A young girl extended her sexy legs and got off the car next. She was around 23 years old and also very beautiful. Her body was extremely attractive with a beautiful curve, including the breast and the ass which were covered by the long dress. Her white skin was visible under the neckline, and her slim figure and the long legs were alluring, too. She was not only pretty but also graceful. After getting off the car, she just glanced at the poor man. Xiaoguqing, are you going to waste time just because of a sanitation man? My dad is waiting to be picked up, she said, impatiently. I almost forget the business due to this old man. I'll go with you to the arrival lobby to pick up your dad now, Xiaoguqing said hurriedly. The beautiful girl became calmer when hearing this. Miss, the boss will get off the plane soon, said a 40-year-old man whose skin was bronze and stood behind the girl. I know, said the girl, nodding to him. Let's go now. Xiao Bing frowned and walked to the front of them fast. Xiaoguqing stopped quickly, nearly touching Xiao Bing's body. Xiao Bing was wearing the shabby clothes brought back from Africa. Seeing it, Xiaoguqing looked down on him at once, and he also felt very angry. Are you blind? A good dog should not be in the way. Haven't you heard of it? Xiao Bing pointed at the sanitation worker who got hurt seriously. One's life is the most important thing in this world. He is bleeding now. Don't you see it? If he gets home and finds that he also gets hurt on the inside, who can he ask for? Xiao Bing said angrily. He said he was fine. What do you want me to do? Asked Xiaoguqing. I think you should bring him to the hospital, said Xiao Bing. And you also need to apologize for what you have done. He is as old as your father. How can you insult him like this? I understand. You are a team. You are just faking an accident and extorting money from me, Xiaoguqing said and smiled coldly. Xiaoguqing took out his wallet and extracted a stack of cash, turning back and heavily throwing the money into the old man's head. The cash scattered around the sanitation man who was shocked and his face went pale. I have too much money. Surely thousands of yuan are enough to see the doctor. Take the money and *k off. Otherwise, I'll let others deal with you, Xiaoguqing said, proudly. The sanitation man squatted down and picked up the money one by one. Finally, he sent the money back to Xiaoguqing with his body quivering. I can't take the money. I am not extorting money. I am not here for your money. He picked up the money but he felt broken-hearted. Xiaoguqing looked at the old man's dirty hands and slapped away the money. The sanitation man was too old and he fell to the ground. Xiaoguqing spat on him and cursed him disgustedly. Shh! T, get away from me, you sanitation man. Fu ku, poor man. The sanitation man was shocked while seeing the saliva and the money on his body. His face was extremely pale. Xiao Bing could not bear it anymore while Xiaoguqing was still insulting the old man. He did not realize that he was in danger now. A few thousands is enough for you. Don't ask for more. Otherwise, you will get in trouble. The girl had a look at her watch. She was about to say something but what she was seeing made her shut up. Xiao Bing hit Xiaoguqing on his face heavily and in the next second, Xiaoguqing was thrown away. The blood sprayed from his mouth as several teeth fell off. How miserable he was. It was unexpected that Xiao Bing would use force without saying one word. Xiaoguqing had been flying backward before his two guards realized what was happening. They ran into Xiao Bing at the same time but were lifted in the air and their heads bumped together, falling into a coma. Xiao Bing stood in front of Xiaoguqing and bent down, looking at him. We don't need your money. I can afford the medical fee if something bad happens to the old man. But we need your apologies. You must apologize to him, now. Xiaoguqing was trying to stand up. He lost several teeth, so what he said was not clear. Fu ku. Don't even think about it. Do you know who I am? I'm the young master of the Xia family in Jiangcheng. The family master is my father. You are going to die. Xiao Bing sighed slightly, trampled his knees with the leather shoes, and heard a fierce yell from Xiaoguqing's mouth. Xiaoguqing was forced to kneel down with broken knee up pan and almost fell in a faint because of pain. Xiao Bing pressed Xiaoguqing's another leg and looked at him calmly. Suddenly, the voice of the girl came to Xiao Bing's ears. Her voice was a little quivering. Stop. Do you know who he is? Hearing this, Xiao Bing laughed. Sure, he comes from the Xia family in this city and he is the son of the big boss of the Xia family. The girl was shocked. She remembered that Xiaoguqing had said this before. But this man was not afraid at all even if he knew who Xiaoguqing was. The girl got to realize how serious the situation became. So who are you? She asked. I am just an ordinary man from another city. The girl felt relieved and nodded when hearing this. Then, she became arrogant again. Do you know what kind of punishment an ordinary man will face after offending someone from the big family? You are just a small potato. Maybe you lied to me and you are really a big person in another city, but you should have heard of a saying. What saying? Xiao Bing asked. A strong dragon won't bite a strong snake from another place. Xiao Bing nodded to her and trampled with his right foot. Xiaoguqing gave a horrible shriek and fell in a faint. Xiao Bing's trample not only made Xiaoguqing lose consciousness but also smashed the girl's pride and confidence. Xiao Bing turned around and looked at the beautiful girl. His eyes were extraordinarily calm, not aggressive at all. But the calm's eyes made others feel that he was very strong and confident in his heart. I think you've also heard a saying. What saying? The girl asked, angrily. A fake dragon won't cross a river. After saying this, Xiao Bing ignored the pretty girl who was stunned, walked to the old man, picked up the money one by one and handed them to the old man. Sir, let's go. I'll take you to the hospital, he said. The sanitation man held on to the money and was close to tears. No, you really don't need to do this for me, he said and shook his head. Let's go. I'll take you to the hospital to have a check. I need to know whether you get hurt seriously or not. Xiao Bing supported the man's body and was ready to leave. What's your name? The girl asked him suddenly. Xiao Bing's body trembled slightly and he replied to her with pride and confidence. Xiao Bing, he said, firmly. After Xiao Bing and the sanitation man went away, the middle-aged man with bronze skin behind the girl sighed suddenly. Miss, that boy was so vicious. I am afraid the young master of the Xia family needs to lie on the bed for nearly half a year because of the two tramples. The girl turned around and looked at the middle-aged man discontentedly. Uncle Li, why did not you help Xia Guqing just now? Although that kid was beating Xia family's members, Xia Guqing is with us. Beating him means a disgrace to our Yi family. Uncle Li wore a forced smile and shook his head. I don't want you in trouble. That man is very strong. I have no ability to defeat him. The girl was stunned by what he had said. Uncle Li was a real master at hand, much stronger than the two guards of Xia Guqing. But he said he could not defeat Xiao Bing. Uncle Li looked at Xiao Bing who was leaving away, feeling uneasy. Besides, I can feel the smell of blood on his body. He must have killed more than one person. Miss, I think you had better stay away from this kind of man, said Uncle Li, with fear. It was unexpected for the girl that Uncle Li thought so highly of Xiao Bing. She was wondering why her uncle had said that. At this moment, she ignored the reputation problems of the family and showed the ambitiousness and wisdom a strong woman should have. She turned back and had a look at Xia Guqing who lost consciousness and also the two bodyguards of the Xia family. Send men to take them to the hospital. We need to pick up my father first. I will tell Uncle Xia about this in person, she said, wearing a foxing smile. What do you mean, miss? Asked Uncle Li. If Xiao Bing is killed by the Xia family in the future, it will not be my business. But if he really is that strong as you said and survive from the Xia family, I will employ him and use him to do things for me. There is neither permanent friends nor permanent enemies. Do you think so? Uncle Li took a deep breath and smiled with respect. You are a clever girl. The girl smiled, and her eyes were shining. She looked so pretty, but she was an extremely ambitious girl. We could see it from her eyes. Xia Guqing was just a playboy, but this girl was a real powerful person with beautiful appearance. Xiao Bing sent the old man to the hospital and had a check. After being told that the old man was fine, he took a bus to the place that Su Paya had told him before death. He held the urn and stood at the door of Su Paya's house. His heart became heavy. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.com, direct link in the description.